This is not a drill. This is the moment the music industry has feared for 30 years. Forget everything you thought you knew about the West Coast legends. Forget the beefs, the records, and the Grammys. Because right now, as you watch this, a fuse has been lit by the only man brave enough to hold the lighter. Ice Cube. The internet is currently in a state of absolute meltdown.
Why?
Because Cube has allegedly just confirmed the existence of the 1995 missing tapes. We're talking about high-definition, grainy, terrifying footage that doesn't just show studio sessions. It shows a young Dr. Dre stepping off a private jet in a location that was never supposed to be on any map. A location known only to the world's most dangerous elites. Did the architect of Aftermath have a secret life? Was the empire of beats built on the foundation of a dark alliance? Ice Cube isn't just talking, he's pointing at the receipts. If you think this is just gossip, you are dead wrong. This is the beginning of the end for Hollywood's most untouchable icons. Stay exactly where you are, because what we are about to reveal will change the way you hear every Dr. Dre song forever. The clock is ticking, and the truth is finally screaming. To understand why this is exploding now, we have to go back to the source. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, the titans of NWA, the men who revolutionized the world. But while the world saw brotherhood, there was always a chilling undercurrent of tension. For years, Cube has been the independent thinker, the man who walked away from the money because he saw something behind the curtain that disgusted him. He told us in his lyrics. He told us in interviews. He talked about the club. He talked about gatekeepers. But we thought he was just talking about the music business. We were wrong. He was talking about survival. Plus one. Dr. Dre, on the other hand, became the ultimate insider. He became a billionaire. He became the man who could make or break a career with a single phone call. But at what cost? Insiders have long whispered that Dre's meteoric rise in the mid-90s, right as he was leaving death row to start Aftermath, was fueled by more than just talent. It was fueled by the network. Enter the 1995 missing tapes. 1995 was the year Jeffrey Epstein began consolidating his power. It was the year he began luring the world's most influential men into his orbit. And according to leaked memos from a former death row security guard, 1995 was also the year a series of private, unlisted flights took place from a small hangar in Van Nuys, California. The history of these two men is a history of secrets. Cube left NWA because of money, but he stayed away from the club because of morality. For 3 decades, there has been a cold war between these two. Dre stayed in the light of the billionaire spotlight, while Cube moved in the shadows, collecting information. You have to ask yourself, an anonymous industry veteran recently posted on a private forum, how does a man go from being under the thumb of Suge Knight to being a protected global asset overnight? You don't do that without a human shield. You don't do that without friends in very, very dark places. The tension reached a breaking point last week when Cube appeared on a late-night podcast. He didn't say Dre's name directly at first, but he didn't have to. He spoke about the island. He spoke about the tapes. He spoke about the 1995 log. The internet detectives went to work immediately, and what they found was a trail of breadcrumbs leading straight to the door of Aftermath Entertainment. This wasn't just a rivalry. This was a countdown. The industry has been sitting on a powder keg for 30 years, and Ice Cube just threw a lit match into the center of it. The panic in the halls of the major labels is palpable. Phone calls are being made. NDAs are being threatened. But it's too late. The missing tapes are no longer missing. They're being analyzed by people who have nothing to lose. And the most terrifying part? This isn't even about music anymore. This is about a 1995 connection that links the most powerful producer in the world to the most disturbing scandal in human history. The explosion happened at 3:14 a.m. A verified whistleblower account on a decentralized platform leaked a 15-second clip that the industry tried to erase. The quality was low, the audio was muffled by the roar of jet engines, but the faces were unmistakable.
It was Dr. Dre.
He wasn't in a studio. He wasn't in Los Angeles. He was standing on a dark tarmac, and behind him, a man who looked exactly like a young Jeffrey Epstein was gesturing toward a waiting limousine. The caption read, 1995, the night the contract was signed, not with a label, but with the island. The reaction was instantaneous. The internet didn't just break, it shattered. I knew it, one viral tweet shouted, "Look at Dre's face. He looks terrified." But then came the response from the Cube camp. Ice Cube didn't post a statement. He posted a photo of an old, dusty VHS tape with DRE, NM/Island95, handwritten on the label. The implication was clear. Cube has the full footage. The scene described by those who have allegedly seen the full tape is haunting. It wasn't a party. It was a meeting of the Epstein class. They claim the tape shows Dre being introduced to a circle of men in suits, men who move markets and control governments.
The twist?
This wasn't a casual visit. Sources claim Dre was there because he was being vetted for his transition into the billionaire circle. But the price was a human shield. The first major twist that sent shockwaves through the industry is this. Insiders are now saying the reason Dre left death row so suddenly wasn't because of Suge Knight. It was because the Epstein network had given him a better offer and a darker ultimatum. But it gets worse. A second leak surfaced, a flight manifest from August 1995 listing A. Young on a flight to the U.S. Virgin Islands. The return flight? Empty. Why did he stay there? What happened in those 72 hours? The tapes allegedly reveal that Dre wasn't just a guest. He was the one delivering other young artists to the island to secure his own empire. The suspension of Ice Cube's social media accounts wasn't a glitch. It was a declaration of war. Within an hour, the club struck back. Major news outlets began running stories questioning Cube's mental state, attempting to bury the messenger before the message could spread. But the internet is smarter than the gatekeepers. The backlash was fierce, but the real shocking reveal dropped when a hacker group known as the Truth Knights bypassed the firewalls of a major Hollywood law firm. They released a single, 30-second audio file from 1995. You hear a voice that is unmistakably a young Dr. Dre, and he is sobbing. "I can't do it anymore." The voice gasps between breaths. "They're making me bring the girls. They're making me record it. If I don't, they'll destroy the masters. Jeffrey says I'm part of the family now. I don't want to be in this family." The audio ends with a cold, British female voice, allegedly Ghislaine Maxwell, saying, "Andre, dear, don't be dramatic. You're a billionaire in the making. Just do the work." The narrative shifted overnight. This wasn't just a tape of a visit. It was a tape of coercion. But the escalation didn't stop there. Ice Cube reappeared on a backup account with a chilling message. The audio is only page 1. Page 2 involves the ritual rooms. Dre wasn't just a guest. He was the DJ for the darkest sets ever played. The video is coming. They can't stop the signal. The world is now split into two warring camps, the hashtag Free Dre movement and the hashtag Cube Truth Army. The division is violent and visceral. In Los Angeles, massive crowds have gathered outside the Aftermath offices. Some are praying for Dre, believing he was a victim of a high-level blackmail ring, while others are screaming for justice, demanding that his legacy be erased and his music banned from every streaming platform. "He sold us out," one young producer screamed into a viral TikTok. "He told us to be straight out of Compton, but he was straight into the elite. He used our culture to get a seat at a table built on suffering." Meanwhile, the industry reaction is a masterclass in pure, unadulterated panic. Every celebrity who has ever been photographed with Dre is currently scrubbing their social media history. Oprah and Ellen, already under fire for their own alleged connections, have reportedly gone into full lockdown. Sources say their legal teams are terrified that the 1995 tapes contain footage of a humanitarian gala that was actually a scouting event for the island. The news reports are becoming more sensational by the hour. Talk shows are bringing on body language experts to analyze Dre's old interviews, looking for signs of the island trauma, pointing at his stony expression as a symptom of his secret life. But the most terrifying reaction came from an anonymous DOJ insider who claimed, "Dre isn't the prize. He's the bait. The people on those tapes run the world. If Cube releases the full video, the system collapses by Friday." The world is holding its breath, waiting for the Friday upload, as the line between reality and conspiracy disappears forever. This is the moment that changes everything. The moment the story we thought we were following collapses into a much darker reality. As the world waited for Ice Cube's Friday upload, a new video was leaked, but it didn't come from Cube. It came from Dr. Dre's own private server. It wasn't a denial. It wasn't an apology. It was a 2-minute video of Dr. Dre sitting in a dimly lit room, looking exhausted. He looks directly into the lens and whispers, "Cube, you think you're the one holding the tapes? You think you're the one who found the vault? Look at the camera on the VHS Cube. Look at the reflection in the glass." The person holding the camera is Ice Cube, the ultimate betrayal. Cube wasn't the whistleblower. He was the accomplice. In 1995, Cube wasn't the independent thinker. He was the one filming the events for the club. He wasn't collecting evidence to expose them. He was collecting leverage to protect himself. Dre's voice returns over the grainy footage. "You are the one who introduced me to Jeffrey, Cube. We're both in the book. And the only reason you're talking now is because your protection expired." But there's one last twist. Dre ends a video with a chilling cliffhanger. But Cube is right about one thing. The ritual room video exists. And in that video, neither of us is in charge. There's a third person. Someone who is currently running for the highest office in the land. Someone who made us film it so they could own us forever. Who is the third person? The 1995 tapes don't just link to the island. They link to the person who currently controls your world. The countdown to the master reveal has started. Are you still with us? The world as you knew it just ended. We are witnessing the total collapse of the Hollywood hierarchy in real time. But we need to know, is Ice Cube the hero or the ultimate villain? And who is the third person running for office? Drop your theories in the comments now. We are reading every single one. Hit the like button and share this video to strike back against the gatekeepers. Most importantly, subscribe and turn on all notifications. The next update will reveal the names from the ritual room. Stay alert. The truth is coming for everyone.